Hi guys, this is lesson 6-3. I can add and subtract fractions with like denominators. Amy is driving to see her mom. The first day, she drove 2/5 of the distance. The next day, she drove another 2/5 of the distance. What fraction of the distance has she driven? So let's take a look at this problem. Okay, so I know that she drove 2/5 of the distance the first day. I know she drove another 2/5 the next day. So I think I'm going to add. So the first thing I notice, let's go back, is that I have 2/5 and I'm going to add another 2/5. Well, they both have the same denominator. So both of my fractions have the same denominator. By coincidence, they have the same numerator, but we are focusing on fractions with like denominators. So that's why I've circled the 5s, my denominators. So if I take a look at my fraction strips, here's my 5ths. On the first day, she drove 2/5 of the way. All right, so I shaded in 2/5 to show how far she went the first day. The second day, she went another 2/5. So let me shade those in. Okay, so day 2, I've shaded in orange. So our question is asking what fraction of the distance has she driven? Well, I can just count. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's driven 4/5 of the distance. So one way to add those is to use fraction strips. I can also just look at my problem. If I have 2/5 plus 2/5, I'm going to keep my denominator the same because I'm adding fifths, but I'm just going to add my numerators. And 2 plus 2 is 4. So she's driven 4/5 of the distance. Oh, yeah, so 2 plus 2 is 4, and we keep our denominator, 4/5. Let's look at another problem. Nala had 7/8 cup of doggy treats. She ate 3/8 of a cup while on a walk with Renee. How many cups does she have now? So to solve this, I'm going to draw a model. So here I have a rectangle. My denominator is 8, so I'm going to split it into 8 equal parts. And my rectangle is going to represent 1 whole cup of dog food. Well, when I look at this, Nala started with only 7/8 of a cup. So I'm just going to shade in 7/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. So that is how much she had to start, was the 7/8. eighths. Okay, but then, of course, Nala just pigging out 3/8 of a cup. So I'm going to take an X and X out the 3/8 that she ate. 1, 2, and 3. So that's going to represent how much she ate. So how much is left? Well, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4/8 of a cup left. We can also solve this simply by subtracting. So I started with 7/8. Let me just erase this. So I started with 7/8. Nala ate 3/8. My denominators are the same. They're both an 8. So I keep my denominator and I subtract the numerators. 7 minus 3 is 4/8. So we have 4/8 of a cup left. All right, guys. Today you learned how to add and subtract fractions with like denominators.